Today we're talking about why the INFJ feels bored from social interactions. Is it just boredom, or are we talking about a sign of depression here? One of you asked me this question, why he was always struggling with this. When he was in social interaction, he just wanted to leave and he doesn't even want to participate. And in his opinion, it was a sign of depression. And I'm not a clinical psychologist, so I cannot speak on this. But what I know is that I have experienced this many times. I know for the majority of my 20s, I never felt like going out, interacting with people. When I did, I got bored really easily, and I always wished for things to be different. I looked at everybody else and they seemed to have a great time and wanted to meet others, and for me it was like, so what? It's not going to change anything about how I feel, about myself, about my life. It's not even going to be that much fun. Maybe I had like a bit of fun like right there for a minute, and then I got back home. And this is something that so many INFJs experience, because this isn't the first time that somebody commented on this, and I've talked to a lot of INFJs through my coaching or the boot camp, and this is something that is reoccurring. And so it's something definitely worth talking about, specifically because now I'm in a completely different state. Not just that, I've also shown many INFJs how to get out of that state, what kind of mindset shift is necessary, because we're not doing things to impress others, we're not doing things so we seem normal. We want to create that INFJ epic life. That means we experience it as something fun. We want to interact. We want to either get to a point where we're not wondering why we're bored, we're totally fulfilled with what we're doing, or we get to a point where we get excited about meeting other people. That's what we want to get to, and today we're going to tackle exactly that. Remember, if you want to take the next step in creating your INFJ epic life and you want my personal help with this, then work with me one-on-one. All the information you find in the link in the description. The main reason why we suffer from this is because we go into an emotional atmosphere, let's say a group, and in the beginning it's interesting to understand the dynamics. We watch it, we observe it, we analyze it. It has everything to do with how we use NI and TI. Remember, our third function is the function we want the most, and it's the one we overvalue the most. It's the one where we think we're much better at it than we actually are. So at first, we go into that mode. We try to analyze. And once we have a grasp of, oh, okay, that's how that emotional atmosphere is playing out, that's how the social dynamics are within that group, then there is not much to do. We've actually already done what makes it fun for us. So when you go into that situation again and you feel like, okay, now I can use everything that I've learned through my NI and TI, I've created the system, I know how it works, and then I use my creative function, meaning Extraverted Feeling, FE, our second function. I use it and then I can adapt to that emotional atmosphere in the group. You do it once, you do it twice, and then you lose interest. That's what happens point blank. And so you ask yourself, why should I do it again? I already know how they're going to react. I already know what their preferences are. I already know what the unspoken rules are. So why should I do that? And so we get to a point where we ask ourselves, this isn't fun anymore. This doesn't give me anything, so I withdraw. And still something is missing. And that's when you get into a depressive state. That's when you feel like, okay, life is happening outside of me. I'm not participating in it. Why is everybody else having fun, but I'm not? Like, what's the problem? And I don't know how to fix it. And here's the solution. We have to first understand that what we do is based on the fact that that emotional atmosphere that is happening within that group is constant. Meaning, if I get into that group, if I talk to them, then the emotional atmosphere isn't going to change. Whatever kind of dynamic was going on there, I'm just going to add to that. I'm not going to change it, because once you change it, once you take charge of it, what happens? You actually have to keep going with it. And that feels like a lot of work. But the thing is this. Once you start, it becomes easier. Once you start, you see how people adapt to you. They adapt to what is your preference more often than you could ever imagine. It happens on a very subliminal level, but it's still happening. So what we neglect to do is to say, I'm going to change that narrative. I'm going to change that emotional atmosphere, because of course it's going to change once I'm in that group. I understand the dynamic that's going on, let's say, between those 5 people, but when I'm part of that group, we're not talking about the same old dynamic. We're talking about a new dynamic that of course is going to be altered, because now it's 6 people, including me. And here is where the biggest challenge lies, because we understand others so well. We know that once we do that, we create this harmony. This doesn't feel good in the beginning. It's uncomfortable. And we actually allow others to judge us. So often we don't even want to do it because we say, well, I know they're not going to like what I do. And when I'm in one group, I want to relax. I don't want to be the one who creates an emotional atmosphere. But is there another way? Has the old way worked? No, it hasn't. We are always at the same place thinking, I cannot change the emotional atmosphere. I don't want them to like me because now I take charge and I say, okay, let's do this, or my preferences are that, or that is the music we should listen to, and these are the places we should go. These are the things I like, because we very often don't know them. If we know them, we say, okay, once I start, I have to keep with it. I can't just do it once or twice and then think that others are going to take the lead. It's not going to happen. That does not mean in any case that you have to become the leader of the group. Not at all. But if you think about it, when you're thinking about an emotional atmosphere like this, everybody has their preference. Everybody is giving off their unique perspective. Just us, as INFJs, have learned so well how to maintain that harmony that we don't want to disrupt it. Because once you disrupt it, you're going to feel other people's judgment. But if you're willing to go through that process, you will recognize that this judgment isn't something that's going to stay with you forever. Not at all. The more often you do this, the less you care, because you're more and more focused on what you like and how you get what you want and how to inspire and excite others with your passions. And that changes the entire game, because then you're never going to act out of a place of these are the boundaries that I have to live within. This is the emotional atmosphere that I have to adapt to. No, we're creating a new emotional atmosphere. You're actually creating a new reality, and everybody can decide by themselves. Do I want to stay around that or not? In most cases, people will stay around it and the dynamic will change. You don't have to become the leader of the group or anything like this. And this, by the way, goes for absolutely everything, at work, with friends, with family members even. But if your voice becomes bigger, your part becomes bigger. You change the emotional atmosphere. And once you do that, there is no limit left. You're in a place where you can continuously grow. You can apply yourself. You can inspire others. Your energy can grow within that field. And once you tap into this, you won't feel bored. You won't feel like, oh, there are social interactions that just don't bring me any fun, because you're not focused on how other people are feeling at that moment. You're not trying to get an emotional payback through creating a harmony or through understanding dynamics that are going on. You're doing this as a byproduct, because every single time you grow, every single time you bring more of your energy to the group, you will get a different dynamic from others. Meaning you get new information from them, which allows you to then analyze it again, understand the new dynamic, improve it, and then create something new that will allow the entire group to grow as well. This is an amazing transformation. It's a lot of fun, and you really change your entire approach to social atmospheres and to social groups. I have gone through that transformation. I've seen so many of my clients go through this, and they really change things from being boring and asking yourself what for to something new that excites us over and over again. Just try it. You'll be amazed how much better you can feel. If you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video on INFJs being an empath master.